tapping in.
Are we live?
Without further ado, the review. Cousin Stizz.
Stizzo,
Just for you.
Stizzo.
Just for you.
Stizzo.
What you think?
In 2019, before COVID kicked in, me and Xavier were together at a Cousin Stizz show in Chicago. It was, in fact, a Freddie Gibbs show, but Cousin Stizz was the first opener of that show. Cousin Stizz, we started listening to Cousin Stizz in 2012 with that Who You Know on SoundCloud. And then they had that SoundCloud Who You Know remix, the No Bells remix. Super, super dope, man. Stizz has always been a very wavy person. What's interesting with Stizz is that I see Stizz, Casey Veggies. I see Stizz, I see Casey Veggies, I see Rocky Fresh in the same car in hip hop, in the same place in hip hop, right? Which is people that had more than a one-hit wonder, people that are beloved by their respective cities. Cousin Stizz's instance, beloved by Monda in Boston, a hometown favorite for sure, your favorite uncle, as he likes to put it. So seeing Cousin Stizz that day in 2019, it just made me reflect back on some of the dope stuff that Cousin Stizz has given us over time.
Big facts, man. There's something really dope about finding an artist in the hip hop landscape that is comfortable with where they are, and even if that's not centered to the conversation, right? And people that are carving a lane out for themselves, doing what they love and making music. And while when you listen to the music, there are obviously some shots at elevating his position in wherever the hip hop hierarchy is you want to define it. Overall, I would say like he knows who he is. He knows his lane. This particular project, Just For You, I think really like in his way captures what he knows about his ability to make different types of songs and hooks and sounds, and to lean into the production. So I think that this was some of the best that we could look to get from an artist of his caliber. Interesting.
One of the cool things about Stizz is Stizz's appreciation for style, his presentation of his music, looking specifically at how he came up off that Monda album, the album art of that, super dope. The album, to me, the Monda album was Stizz's best work, right? Monda dropping in 2016, that was Stizz's best work. I would be hard pressed to say that I've enjoyed any subsequent album as much as I did Monda or Suffolk County. However, what is undeniable, and one thing that made me get a lot of respect for Stizz, especially when seeing him at the show, the Chicago crowd, you know, it was in the winter, it was Griselda opening, it was Griselda, Freddie Gibbs, and Cousin Stizz, you know, so little to say, there were a lot of hands in hoodies, a lot of hoodies up, a lot of blunt smoke in the crowd. Niggas wasn't putting their hands up, going crazy, waving them side to side. It was a hip hop show. If you've been to a hip hop show, then you know exactly what we're talking about, right? And they weren't necessarily receptive to Stizz's more upbeat energy on the stage. However, to Stizz's credit, he did not, and it's not like his voice was gone, but he did not stop trying very, very hard on that stage. He didn't let the crowd's lack of energy deter the energy that he put up. And what was even doper about that is that after the show, after his show, when Freddie Gibbs was performing, you see him on stage coming up and watching Gibbs perform, excited to see Gibbs perform and supporting Gibbs perform in that way. So when I saw that from Cousin Stizz, man, I earned a lot more appreciation for this artist, and how serious it is that they take their music making. So off of that, it would be hard pressed for me to be able to say that, again, this is a bad album, because I don't think Stizz makes bad music. Is it my favorite Stizz album? No. However, I do appreciate what I get when Stizz does drop.
Yeah, I think you put it perfectly. I think this album is a win for him as a next step in his career. And yeah, there's like all of his albums. I'm glad you brought up Mondo. That's a great project. There's something to pull from here. So Save the Day, I think is something that I will keep in rotation. Guts and Glory. It's actually like two things about this man. One, when he leans into, when the production is there, man, he knows how to make the type of music that will allow him to have the type of shows maybe that Griselda crowd wasn't going to appreciate, but there's a crowd that loves that type of energy, right? And that's really captured in the music. And two, when the production is there and it's not going for the festival banger or the show, the flashy tune for that, man, like when he's just in his chill pocket, that's some of my favorite music that he makes. Some of the more concept tracks, I didn't really, After the Buzzer, I get it. The champagne pop bottles track, like we've heard a lot of artists do that. I'm less impressed by that than when he's just kind of chilling in the cut. So I'll definitely pull, is it Look Both Ways, Guts and Glory, Save the Day, Blessings. I think those are my highlights.
For sure, you got two out of my three. Guts and Glory, Blessings, Gone was also another highlight, and the single that dropped, that LBS, is also a favorite of mine. So, LBS particularly slaps very hard. And I like what you said about Stizz being a hook king, Stizz being somebody that understands being able to catch a beat and setting out those very repetitive type of things. He's one of those types of rappers that says that can say that thing that has you repeating it. Who you know. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that No Bells, that Headlock, another one too, where Stizz can just really put together some dope words that are easy to repeat, that's some fly stuff, and then chill and lay back. So I'm glad to see him still working. I'm glad to see him still putting out albums. I'm glad to see him still participating in the space. Stizz has been rapping for quite some time. At a certain point in time on SoundCloud, Stizz was there in that same category as Waldo, rapping at the same time as Goldlink. So to be able to see somebody who is very much from the SoundCloud era, the first song, the real SoundCloud era, still out here rapping, man, that's gonna mean something to me.
Yeah, for sure. If I could say anything about this project and what I would like to see next is more features. Like you said, he does kind of have that hypnotic kind of tone. I think some features to kind of add a splashes of color on this album would have been really nice. So I love to see him collaborate with other folks in the future. And yeah, man, I look to see him just kind of dig into the mature bag, right? I want to see him. He makes a lot of party music, a lot of amped up, high energy music. That's cool, but I really want to see him develop his craft in making just vibey music, because his beat selection is great.
Beat selection is great. Definitely go ahead and check that out. Official review, we're gonna give it a 3. I give it a 3 and a 3 out of 5 over here.
I'm with it. 3 out of 5. Mike.
It is for Stizzo. It is for Stizzo. Man, doing the show is an absolute pleasure, Mr. Miles Xavier.